Hello everybody, this is Yoko's Anime Reactions, and this is going to be my review. I'm going to try and make this brief, because I have to keep an eye out for my nephews off the bus. Though I think I don't have to really technically make this brief, because it's only 2:33, and they usually get off the bus around 2:55, 3 o'clock. So, this is going to be my review for Welcome to Demon School Iruma Kun, Season 2, Episodes 5 and 6. Episode 5 is... well, Iruma is finally able to go back home, because before he was living at the dorms, and the funny thing is that I didn't mention this last time, but Sullivan wanted to come and visit Iruma because he's not used to not having Iruma around ever since he brought him there, because he would stay at the house every day and go to school. Now he was living at the dorms, and Sullivan never got to see him, really. And Amori shut that down quick. She was like, no, while he's staying here, I'm in charge, so no visits. Poor Sullivan. But now that he's back home, Sullivan has been spoiling him, essentially. And now, he actually told him that, yeah, if you want something, you can have your friends over, and Iruma was quite surprised by this, because he had never once thought about having friends over, because back in the human world, I don't even think he had friends. It was just himself. So, the idea of having friends over at his house made him very nervous and excited at the same time. Thankfully, the other, Az and Clara, were eager to come over. And they did. And, they end up playing a dancing game, and Sullivan finally loses. Opera wins by, I think, 5 points or something? So I think, was it Az in second place, Clara in third place, Sullivan in last place, and Iruma in the middle, I think. Anyway, Sullivan is not too happy about being shown up like this, so he wants Iruma to think of him as the cool, amazing grandfather that he is. So he takes them essentially like on a test of courage thing down in the basement of the mansion, but I was like, how deep does this house go? Apparently very deep. Essentially like a castle dungeon with many mazes and everything, and it was like a sewer system down there, a real big one, and I'm like, good Jesus Christ. And we find out from Opera whispering to Sullivan, like, what are we doing down here? There's nothing down here at the very end except for a closet. And he tries to play it off like, oh, I've got something planned. And he does, sort of, by having his pet, demon horse, dressed up as a monster and acting like he's going to attack them, and Sullivan would come in and defeat him and save Iruma and the others, making Iruma happy. That does not go quite as planned, because Az decides to step in and defeat the monster. I feel bad for his pet. Poor thing, didn't deserve that. Anyway, so he tries again by leading them all the way down to the rest of the closet, and thankfully, Opera comes in handy at this, because he brought himself a little projector with him and made it seem like there was a gigantic red dragon in there that no attacks would work on. And he essentially told Sullivan, go, this is your chance. And he acts like he saved the day, but obviously Iruma and the others saw right through it. So yeah, they were praising Opera for his amazing fun time they just had, and Sullivan's like, hmm. And it's almost time for them to leave, but Iruma asks if they could stay a little bit longer, and they come into his room, and Clara starts jumping on the bed, and obviously Az is telling her, that's not a trampoline, don't jump on the bed, and Iruma's now doing it and asks Az to join him, and they all three of them are jumping on the bed and having an amazing time. And when they head home, Iruma it was essentially the perfect day for him. However, Alacred doesn't think things are going as well as they should, so he decides to do something stupid and forces him into an artificial evil cycle, because as we know, humans do not have evil cycles. So, the next morning, Sullivan wakes him up bright and early, wanting to, spend more time with him, and Iruma's now in his evil cycle, and his eyes and his hair look a little bit different, and his voice is a little bit lower, a little more aggressive, but it's still obviously Iruma's voice. Obviously, this shocks both Opera and Sullivan to the point where Opera is kind of like walking on eggshells type thing around him, shaking, visibly trembling, which surprises me because Opera is so dang strong in this show. I'm like, why are you scared of him? It's not like he's a demon that's gonna attack you. Or not, because Iruma's a human. What's he gonna do to him? Because, I mean, even with the ring, Opera is still stronger than him. Sullivan's stronger than him. If they needed to, they could restrain him if they needed to. And obviously they have no clue what's going on because they know he's human. They know he doesn't have an evil cycle, so they have no idea what is causing this. Sullivan assumes that it's a rebellious phase because he was with the student council before all this, so he assumes they're to blame. Anyway, he heads to school, and Az and Claire automatically assume that this is his evil cycle going on because, I mean, they're demons. They automatically assume he's a demon. Thus, when he's like this, they assume it's the evil cycle. And he's treating Az like a servant, which he's more than happy to do so, to be completely honest. Except when Iruma threatens him with using his real name, which is Alice. Which I still find funny that he has a girl's name. And everybody in class automatically assumes, hey, maybe this is his evil cycle. And, I'm assuming Iruma knows when it comes to, others' feelings towards him, because this Iruma, has Clara sitting on his lap. And she's just sitting there, probably quietly freaking out in her head at this, because there's freaking steam coming off her head at this point, I'm guessing with how hard she's blushing. I'm like, it's just sitting on his lap, he's petting your head, there's not really much he's doing. And he's doing this all while looking at his phone. And later, they find the other demons are leaving their trash right outside their classroom. Iruma normally would just throw the trash away and not really complain about it. This Iruma is not standing for that. He's both charismatic and aggressive at the same dang time. It's kind of hard to really tell whether he's charismatic or aggressive. And he essentially tells the others, yeah, we're not standing for this. This is not going to be our classroom anymore. It's breaking down. It's leaving trash outside it. We don't deserve to be treated like this. And he goes and talks to the teachers and tells them, we want a new classroom. And not just any classroom. The one that's been locked up since the last Demon King disappeared. The Royal One. So Caligo obviously gets very mad about this because this essentially is a sacred ground for them. And he tells them they have to get the stamps of approval of all the faculty, all the teachers, and by a certain point. And Iruma takes that challenge up. But yeah, Iruma's more charismatic, more aggressive, more manipulative in this form. Let me know what you guys think about this. And yet it's still Iruma in there. Some part of his personality is still there. Anyway, I hope you guys are excited for more, and I'll see you guys next time.